Hello and a very warm welcome everyone, it's Marta here. Hello my beautiful friends. As I was cleaning my craft room, I found this gorgeous purple color paper as well as this leftover leaf cut out. This was the element I received from the swap. We had some craft swap with the other Polish friends who were a few years back. We were doing this crafty swap, and here is the card which I was sharing with you yesterday. And I'm also testing new paper which is called Navigator. I always use the British paper, but I'm run out of my extra stack, even though I've bought like two 500 pieces cardstock boxes, so that's like 1,000 pages, and I went over them within the year we're here. So now I'm testing new paper. I have this idea. I'm going to be creating the card, and this is going to be fairly simple card. However, it's going to be with a little twist. Now I'm also going to be using this very stiff linen finish cardstock. I've got this piece, this white color you could see here, and I'm going to use it as a little matting layer for my card base. Even though the card base is in white, I'm having this double extra layer of white because it doesn't bring the color, but it brings the texture, and I think this is a great way for your card to appear a little bit more luxurious. Just try it and you'll see the result. I'm gonna be cutting this lovely gate. This is the die I've got from the Kokorosa. I will give you the link down below in case anyone would like it. And here this is how the die looks like. And this cardstock, this is 250 GSM linen finish cardstock, so it's very stiff. I had to kind of wiggle a little bit to release this gate out from the metal die, but it cut beautifully, and I love this ornament. And as you can see, it stay untouched in a cardstock, but you can very easily chop it out and have as a separate element. So here I had this great idea. I'm gonna cut it secondly, and even with the thicker cardstock. So I use the cover up of this watercolor paper, which is very thick. And one thing I need to tell you, it cut lovely. Once I turned the die upside down, I could see all these little extra elements were really nicely cut, but I couldn't take it out. So it was so hard. The paper basically got jam in the die, so it's just got all rip off, and I just give up. If it's happened to you, try to change the cardstock, because sometimes the fault can lie in the cardstock itself, not necessarily in a die. There's a few other ways as well. As far as I'm aware, you could actually put like a paper, parchment paper, or like a baking paper in between the layers, but I didn't have the time for it. That's supposed to be a quick card. My son is home from school. They have 2 weeks holidays, so between this family, all the house, organizing my craft room, I just thought like, okay, I don't have much time for a crafting, but I still have to create something. I just need to let this creative energy, flow outside. I don't know, is anyone else feeling the same way? I always feel like I just need to craft for my own sanity. I just have to create something, even if it's something little or, not very complicated. Now, here's the plot twist. I'm going to be chopping this part. As you can see, I cut the panel under the angle, and I'm gonna do the similar cut on my card base. It's not really a huge change. It's nothing complicated, but this is such a nice way to create something slightly different than just a regular card base. And here I had a little bit struggle in between trying to trim it perfectly on my trimmer, on the guillotine. Guillotine is way too small. I don't know what I thought here. And the best result is just the metal ruler and X-Acto knife, and this is also the cheapest one as well. So for those of you, my friends, who are beginner crafter, who doesn't have the access to die cutting machine, this is excellent. Just a few dollar or pound, I don't know like what's the prices, but metal ruler, not the plastic one. The plastic one will get catch with the X-Acto knife, and you won't be able to have this nice straight line. After a few cuts you will have to replace the ruler, but if you buy the metal and X-Acto knife, that's really very, very cost effective. And here you can see how I'm planning to actually adhere this base. I'm gonna have this cut front base and then the continuation of the design paper on the back side of my card. So if once the card is closed, it actually looks like it's a whole image. So I think it's just looking really smart, and it's just something, you know, surprising that at the first view, at first glance, you can't actually see it's cut. Only when you open it up, it's like, oh, actually this card base is cut under the angle. It's so easy, and I just think it's just looking lovely. And here is my tip for whenever I need to add the adhesive only partially to my die cut pieces. I'm putting myself a ruler up to exactly where I want to have my adhesive, adhere, and then I am temporarily using masking tape or something help me to hold the ruler. And once I put my die upside down, I can then create this kind of a pencil mark line, which will help me to guide, so I'm not gonna be adding more adhesive and accidentally glue this part to where I don't want it to be adhere. So here I'm just spreading a little bit of the glue on my hand, and I'm gently tapping with this die cut piece. Is very intricate, so that will be very difficult to actually put the glue, under all those little thin parts. So this is the method which I'm actually prefer, and I think it's way quicker, and it's also way more effective because once you gently tap your die cut piece, it doesn't have to be hand. If you don't like to touch your glue by hand, you can spread the glue on the stamping block or something, but I just find it quicker. And once I'm done, I'm just actually wiping it out with the wet wipe, and it's always working fine. Now I'm gonna be adhering this happy birthday sentiment. I have a couple layers in white and then one in the gold mirror cardstock. I think this die is actually a freebie from Crafting Magazine. I believe that was stamped by me, which was designed by them, but I think it was simply Cards and Papercraft or something like that. But you could use any other happy birthday die or any sentiment which is more for the occasion you're gonna be making the card. Now, fun thing I need to tell you, I actually tossed this piece of the vellum to the bin. You can see it's a little bit crinkled, but the second I put it down in the bin, I was like, no, I need to use it for something. And this is a great save up, because I need to tell you that having that little piece of the vellum underneath the sentiment is actually something which helped it to stand out. Here's my son. He came in for a couple minutes just to hang out with me. He is on a school holiday. They have this like 2 weeks of the winter break, so he's at home. So he's coming here and there, and yeah. So I've cut a couple of the elements, and as I've mentioned at the beginning, I found this craft color leaf, which I thought it will be looking really nice. And I must tell you that switching the color combination, because normally when you think about the greenery, like adding some leaves to your floral composition, at least me 99% of the time I'm going with the green color cardstock, green or white, and then color it a little bit gentle with some inks. But here I'm going with the brown color, and I need to tell you, I really love it. And especially once I give it a little bit extra dimension with firstly using this distress oxide ink for extra shading, and then I stamped this beautiful text stamp from Funky Fossil that was from their latest release. the stamp set, but any text stamp or texture stamp will work. It's just something to add that extra touch. And here I am just adding teeny tiny bit of the green and kind of a patina color to my greenery, because I don't want them to be like white. I just want to have that extra little teeny tiny bit of the color, but it's still very gentle, very, it's not greenish green. It's just like a little bit of the white leaf, and they are a little bit color and stamp, and then a little bit green from the olive color from distress oxide. Here I've cut another of those extra fancy gates, and I'm gonna be adhering it on the back side because I didn't like the way how it looks like, having this little piece standing out just a partially. So I cut another piece, and I thought, oh, this is gonna be a nice decoration for the inside part of my card. And of course I've made a mistake because I didn't clean up my hand properly, and when I was pressing it, I had this little bit of the green color ink on my finger, and I've made this like a green blob. Oh, you can see here. And as soon as I made it, I was like, no, I just ruined it. But this is happy accident. I feel like sometimes whenever we made those type of the mistakes, they are just kind of a I would say extra force to repair something or to make extra step. So in order to cover up for this mistake, I've decided to create this kind of like a gift card or money pocket to go underneath this gate, and that way it will be partially cover, so my problem will disappear. And I'm so happy I did it because this is actually elevating the card to the next level. It's just such a simple step. It didn't really took me a lot of the time, just maybe like a 1 or 2 extra minutes, but thanks to it, once you open up the card, it's really looking, like this is a premium card, and you spend a lot of the time to create it because it's nicely finished on the inside and outside. So I'm using the same leftover piece from this purple color paper, and then I'm adding this white underneath because this thin piece of the purple cardstock wasn't enough to actually cover for what I needed. So I am extending it with the white cardstock, but firstly my pocket was too deep, so I'm just slightly changing it a little bit, adding this additional scoring line. And the back side I can actually cut with my scissors because no one will see it. So here you can see it's very simple, easy way how you can elevate your card project by adding this extra pocket. I didn't want my flaps to be as large, so I'm just slightly trimming them with the scissors. And now I'm gonna be adding a little dash of the adhesive only to the flap part. And as I'm saying, this is absolutely beautiful save up. I think thanks to this blob, I actually came up with another idea, and this actually make my card looking even better. And here you can see I had this like a little glass cleaning tissue just to check it if the pocket is working fine. Here I am adding this sentiment, and I've put a little bit of the hot glue behind the vellum, like actually behind the sentiment part, so it's not gonna be visible on a vellum. I only stick to the part where the sentiment was. And here I'm adding a couple of my handmade flowers, a brown leaf and the greenery, and it's just I'm filling up the composition until I feel I'm actually satisfied with it and it's looking nice. And another tip of creating, like elevating your card to the next level, this is something which I think I was saying it plenty times already, but still, maybe there's a new friends who recently joined my channel, is that if you would like your composition to appear slightly, how to say that, more exclusive, like premium, things like that, always try to put up few different layers of the leaves in your composition, That could be a different type of the leaves. Could be some like a berry branches, things like that. Look for a different differentiation, and also use different color of the cardstock, different textures. Some of the paper I'm having like thinner paper, the other one is this watercolor paper. I always think that having those nice rich composition is something which helps the card to appear way more elegant and way more kind of like a work of art, I would say. Last bit I'm gonna add to my card will be a few flat back pearls, and these are a kind of like a pearl purple color, something which I had for my drawers in my drawers for many years. I haven't been used them up, so for a change I thought I'm gonna dress up my card with the purple pearls. Last bit, of course, I just had to add a little bit of the string just to dress up my card because I really like it, and this served me as a in instead of a ribbon bow. I think it's just adding this extra nice touch. Let me know if you enjoy this card, and if this is something you would like to recreate, create your own version. Of course, please share your photos if you do create something based upon my tutorial. Thank you so very much for watching. As always, I'm asking you if you could click the share button, click the like, leave me a comment, and thank you so very much for your support. That will be me for today. I'm just gonna show you a couple of the close-up photos. Of course, I have my companion here in the craft room, and this time he decided that he is not moving anywhere. So here is my card along with my kitty, and that will be me. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm wishing you all a fabulous day. Stay blessed, and bye-bye.